Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, when I made my video about Tim Walz being announced as the vice presidential pick for the Democratic Party, I said there were a few reasons he was going to be attacked by people. Notably was going to be his military service record and this perceived notion that he abandoned his troops when they were leaving to go fight in an active war zone. Him as a National Guard member, people are upset that he didn't go overseas. And I don't know. The more I think about that, the more I think it's kind of weird that you would expect someone in the National Guard to do anything but guard the nation. But there's a new round of attacks coming out against Tim Walz over something that I find very silly. But some people are calling racist. And I just thought I would talk about this with you today. He said something about having white people tacos. In a recent little campaign ad, I guess it was an ad, it might just be a little beginning of an interview that they did. They're talking about what they're having for dinner, and it goes like this.
Like I have white guy tacos and
what is
like
that?
black,
like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal. No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota,
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
Well, trying to expand
we'll
my food knowledge.
You know what? We've got some cantaloupes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Now, before we dig into the meat of that video, there is one thing that should be corrected on this. Vice President Kamala Harris is not the first vice president to grow peppers in that garden. Thomas Jefferson actually did grow peppers in that garden, but the thing that they have in common is that both of them were grown by black women. So I guess it's not that much of a stretch for her to say that. But the racism bit that people are talking about, Tim Walz and his spice intolerance, people are saying that this is an anti-white campaign. I heard someone say that this is him like throwing white people under the bus and making us seem foolish for saying something like this. And I gotta be honest with you, I want you dudes to keep saying that. Keep up with that weird stuff, because normal people, regular Americans, are gonna see something like that and be like, oh, he's just like my least spice tolerant relative. He's just like my uncle, something like that. Like, that's a Midwestern thing I've come to notice. Whenever I've heard jokes about white people and spice tolerance, it doesn't really make sense to me because I love spicy food. But I grew up in the South. To me, it's not spicy unless I'm sweating. That's when I'll start saying your food is spicy, in my opinion. And it's really weird to think about because this isn't even the first time a Democratic nominee has gotten in trouble for the use of hot sauce or a reference of spiciness with their food. I feel like Dr. Manhattan sometimes, it's 2008 and Barack Obama is getting slack because he tried to put hot sauce on some lady's food. It's 2016 and Hillary Clinton is getting flack because she says she carries hot sauce in her bag. It's 2024 and now the whitest man in the Midwest is getting flack because he has the spice tolerance of the whitest man in the Midwest. Notably, I've seen Ted Cruz as the main elected official saying something about this. He said Hispanic people aren't tacos. Weird tweet in and of itself. I'm not really sure what his point he's trying to make there is, but also I don't really want to hear it from Ted Cruz, considering he's changed his name to make himself appear more white in front of his constituency because he's aware of how racist Republicans are. Donald Trump and his whole Kamala Harris was Indian and turned black. It seems like Ted Cruz is finally going to acknowledge the fact that his name is Raphael. So, who knows? Maybe this will be an interesting year in people being honest with their political positions and their heritage and their birth. But I don't know. I think this is a non-issue, to be honest. I think this is this is someone being honest about the food they like, and Republicans would use anything they can to paint their opponents in a bad way because they can't stand on policies and positions. So you're going to see weird stuff like this for the next few months. try to take it with a grain of salt, laugh at the people who do it, because this is ridiculous. And just be glad they called it white people tacos and not tacos de gringo. Because this isn't a new term by any means. I don't know. Y'all should get out of your house more. Talk to people more often, because you'll be surprised at the way that people describe the world around them. It might hurt your sensibilities, but this isn't anything out of the ordinary, in my opinion. But I guess until the next time, maybe until we get an actual attack ad that's got some substance against the Democratic nominee, y'all try to have a good day.